Welcome to Massage Chair Relief Live, the podcast designed to educate, inform, discuss, and critique the relatively new massage chair industry. Join your host, Dr. Alan Widener, to become a massage chair expert and avoid multiple pain points in your search for the perfect massage chair.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alan Widener from Massage Chair Relief, and I welcome you today to our massage chair industry update for Monday, March 16th, 2026. Thanks so much for joining me today. We've got a number of things to go over today. Not a ton of sales to speak of. I mentioned in our last broadcast that there are a lot of new models coming out. I know that Infinity has models coming out. Human Touch has a new Supernova 3.0 coming out. I will be traveling to Southern California tomorrow to visit my my store there, but hope to have some time to visit Human Touch to sit on the 3.0 and get my opinion on it and get an opinion on it. And I'll share that with you in a subsequent recording. Also, Ogawa has come out with a couple of new models. Cozy has come out with new models. Let's see, who else have we got? Oh, and Daiwa is coming out with some new models. So it is the season for new models. From the fourth quarter on to the first quarter, second quarter, we do typically see new models coming out. Usually around fourth quarters when we see more, because the companies are trying to get their chairs out for the Black Friday, Christmas rush. And then we continue to see new models coming. As we mentioned with Infinity, they've got 5 new models at the first quarter of this year. And we will be also visiting the Infinity headquarters in New Hampshire to take a look at those models as well. We have one of them in our showroom, the Solstice, one of the 4 new ones, but the other 3 we've yet to try. So we're looking forward to see them. Anyways, it's an exciting time to try out chairs with all the new models coming out. And of course, you're welcome to reach out to us at any time to find out what new models we've got in our showrooms and what new models we're starting to carry on our website. Okay. Anyways, I thought I would just mention we sell the Cozy Quantum, and I don't think many people or everybody understands that Cozy, Ogawa, and JP Medics are one and the same company for the most part, right? So they all come from the Cozy USA family of companies, if you will. And they have many of the same chairs, but they're rebranded. For example, the Cozy Quantum, which is their top of the line massage chair, which is a great chair. Ogawa now has come out with the BioVision, and JP Medics has come out with the Cozway. All 3 of those chairs are the same. They're all the same. Same features, same programs. I think one might have one more airbag than another, but for all intents and purposes, they are the exact same chair, same mechanism, same technology, same feel. The one difference would be the Cozway is said to be made in Japan, although there are chairs that they say are made in Japan, like the JP Medics Kumo, like the Oko M8, like the JP Nexus from Osaki. There are different, and those, as opposed to being made in Japan, like the Decor or Inada chairs or the Fuji Ryoki chairs, some of the Fuji Ryoki chairs, the other chairs that when they say they're made in Japan, like the one that I just mentioned, Cozway and the Kumo and the M8, those chairs the components are manufactured in China still, but then they're exported to Japan for assembly and testing and programming. So they do call that made in Japan, but for all intents and purposes, the chairs are not actually made in Japan, just assembled, tested, and programmed. So, but anyways, I wanted to mention to you that the Quantum, the BioVision, the Cozy Quantum, the Ogawa BioVision, and the JP Medics Cozway are all the same models, just rebranded for a different or renamed for a different brand for the 3 main brands that they carry that fall under the Cozy umbrella. So I hope sometimes I talk so much that I actually make things more confusing. Hope I didn't do that. Call us if you have any problems. I also wanted to mention that those chairs are not great for fitting through doors that are less than 32 inches. They come fully assembled, and some of the interior doors of homes are 29 and a half inches, maybe 30 inches, maybe 28 inches. That chair will not get through without removal of the armrest, at least one armrest, and the hood of the chair. So it's a very difficult chair to get into a home, or not necessarily into a home, but into a room of a home that has less than 32-inch doorways. So we do struggle with that, getting it into a room. As my one manager says, you better make sure you want that chair, because once we get it in, it'll never come out again. And he says that, tongue in cheek, because it's so hard to take apart and put back together again. Because those chairs do not come disassembled; they come assembled, and disassembling them is not part of the assembly process. Assembling them is not part of the delivery. So, because they don't need to be assembled, but to take them apart, to make them fit through a door, that can be tough. So just a heads up for that. We had our MCR live last week. We haven't had a live one with one of the company executives for a number of months. And we met with Jim Coppins, who's the president of Infinity Massage Chairs, and Michael Malone, who's the VP of national sales for Infinity. And because of their new chairs, and I also enjoy visiting with those guys, they've become friends over the years that we've been in the industry together. They both came on and spoke about the state of the industry, what's kind of going on, what things to be aware of, what things to maybe look forward to. And then they talk about Jim talks about the status of the state of the industry, so to speak, for the most part. And then for the most part, Michael talks about the new models, the 4 new models: the Zanara, the Celebrity, the Sensation, and the Solstice. And that was a wonderful interview. And for those of you that aren't aware, our Massage Chair Relief live broadcast is a video recording with those ladies or gentlemen, depending on the company, that are representing the company, talking to me in an interview. It's actually not so much an interview; it's more of just 3 people in the industry talking about the industry. And then we also have a podcast version of that on our podcast, and you can see our podcast on Spotify. Spotify, Apple, YouTube. You can have access to that all over the place as well. And you can listen to those in the comfort of your car, or with your headphones on when you're sitting in your massage chair. If you want to see the video version of it, you gotta go to YouTube or Facebook to see that. But anyways, it was a very good broadcast. And we'll have some more broadcasts as the season goes on. We only have so many experts in the industry that are bringing chairs to market, that have their finger on the pulse of the industry. And we like to interview them, but having a monthly broadcast is tough to keep the material fresh. So we'll be reaching out to the other companies here soon and start to have a regular monthly Massage Chair Relief live broadcast with experts in the industry. Here is something that I want you to be aware of, and I brought this up before. Months ago, we talked about buying a pre-owned chair. If you're buying a pre-owned chair and it's from a private seller, like on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or eBay, those chairs will not, the warranty of those chairs will not transfer to the new owner. Okay. And it's very difficult to, the message doesn't get out, because the problem is that people that are advertising their chairs for sale on those formats say that they have this much warranty left on their chairs. Well, it's going to be tough for you if you buy one of those chairs and something goes wrong with it, and you are under the understanding that there is a warranty remaining, and there is no warranty on a transfer. There's no transfer of warranty. The only time you can get a transfer of warranty on a pre-owned chair is through an authorized dealer. So let's say we get a chair and we have a chair returned, and so it's pre-owned, and we resell it to another buyer. We can do that because we're authorized dealers. And so, buyer beware. That is something that gets people a little surprised. I also might add, and I'm reticent to say too much about this because I can't speak for every one of the companies, but one of the companies that we sell for, we have a customer. We've had this happen a couple of times. A customer will call us saying, "Hey, I got this chair gifted to us, or I bought it for a deal online for on Facebook Marketplace. Someone sold it, a private buyer sold it to me, and we are not having any luck getting parts for this chair. Now, although the warranty there may not be a warranty, you should still be able to buy parts for it. That's the mindset of the person getting the chair. If I need parts, I'll just call, Infinity or Osaki or Daiwa or Human Touch or Luraco and get that part. Well, some of the companies have not provided parts for those chairs. So the person who bought the chair or got it gifted to them by Aunt Ruth wants to go get the chair fixed so they can use it. Because maybe it's been sitting in Aunt Ruth's house and she hasn't been able to use it, or it hasn't been working, and so she just gives it to her, her nephew or her son-in-law or son, with the understanding that they can just get parts and get the chair fixed. Well, I hate to disappoint you, but it's tough to get those chairs fixed sometimes, depending on the distributor. And if you do not have a receipt showing that you purchased that chair from a retailer that represents that company, or directly from that company, you will not be able to even get parts with some of the distributors. Now, I can't speak for all of them because I haven't talked to all of them about it, but we have one distributor in particular who will not do that. They've got their people busy dealing with current owners that have warranty issues, and they do not. This one particular company, they do not sell parts to people who have bought the chair, other than from an authorized dealer or from the distributor themselves. So just be really careful. Now, I think the perfect place to buy a massage chair is a Facebook Marketplace or eBay or through some other online format. If the chair is older and it's out of warranty and it works fine, because those chairs are typically lower priced. And even though they've probably been used for a long time and without any problem, they're probably pretty sturdy and pretty solid chairs, even though, you never know, you could buy it and something could go wrong with it. But if I'm going to buy a pre-owned chair, I'm going to buy one that doesn't have any warranty left or very little warranty left. So I'm not really losing out on anything. And I'm buying a brand name chair so that I know that I can get parts. If the company sells parts to private buyers, or I'm just going to buy it because it's so cheap. I'll just ride it until it's done, and then I'll get a new one. So there, the pre-owned market it can be tough if you're not buying like an authorized dealer, a resell or a what do you call it, a chair that's been repurposed. Like the company has bought the massage chair company, like Infinity, for example. They have certified pre-owned chairs for sale, and they will include a warranty on that. And some companies will include still the full warranty. So if Infinity has a 1 year parts, 3 years labor, they will honor that on their certified pre-owned chairs. Now, there's other companies that will not. And I hate to say the names, but there's one company that they have pre-owned chairs. They have certified pre-owned and refurbished, or what you will, or repackaged for resale, and they will only give you like 6 months of warranty instead of maybe 1 year of parts, or labor, and 3 years of parts. They'll give you 6 months of both, and that's all you get. So it's kind of a crapshoot. And if you have any questions about it and you're thinking of buying a pre-owned one, please call us. and we can find out for you if or even maybe even help you a little bit by hooking you up with a technician to do the repair who may be able to order the parts for you. Even though, again, some of the companies will not even do that if the chair has been, if you do not have a receipt showing that you purchased the chair. Okay. I'm going to be doing a couple of videos exclusive to these subjects in the next week or so, but I'll just kind of touch on them now. Factory warranties. There's a factory warranty that comes with every chair, but what does that factory warranty cover? And most of them are pretty similar, but there may be some changes or some not alterations, but like differences from one company to the other. Now I printed up an Infinity, their warranty, what their factory warranty covers, and it's interesting because a lot of these things we see on other warranties. So I'll just give you some examples. So if there's a loss of power or a power surge or electrical disturbances in your home, you may want that you may need to know that you need to know when you buy the chair that will not be covered. The repair will not be covered. So it's kind of important to have protection for these power surges or electrical power losses. Improper use or unreasonable use of the chair. We had a customer who wanted us to fix their chair, so we went and picked it up, brought it to they were moving, so we brought the chair to our showroom, and what happened was that the bottom of the ottoman was just snapped off. So apparently someone heavy or larger, like an adult, not a child, most likely an adult, stood on that ottoman before it reset when they finished the program, and it snapped the bracket to fix that, or to keep the foot option up and working. It snapped right off. And that's because it was unreasonably used, like standing on it when it's still coming back to a neutral position. That's not good. And so we contacted the massage chair company. I think it was Osaki at the time. And we said, Osaki, we have this chair and we need to get a new footrest. And the customer is willing to buy it. Well, you know what? That model was discontinued years before, and they cannot get parts for it anymore. So, but if it's under warranty and you do something like that, it will not be covered by the warranty. You're going to be on the hook for the cost of the part and the cost of the repair. They mention here abuse, misuse, neglect, vandalism. So again, take care of the bloody chair, because if they can show that it's from abuse or neglect or misuse, like the broken ottoman, that they're not going to cover that. You'll be on the hook for paying for that on your own. They also mention in here that warranty is not transferable. You'll see that on pretty much every distributor's warranty. And it says here, products purchased or acquired from unauthorized dealers, which we just mentioned. Fading, wear, and pilling of fabrics does not constitute a defect. So if you see that the material is like tearing, fading, it's becoming shredded, and we've seen this, that is not covered under the warranty. So take care of the chair. I would suggest wiping down the chair pillows from time to time, the chair synthetic leather or real leather, to wipe off oil and perfumes and colognes and those things that can be abrasive to the chair. And also vacuum out the footwell, because sand and dirt will accumulate there. And you'll wonder, where does it come from? The chair's in my house, but you'll be surprised how much sand and what's the word? Terra, like earth, from the earth, things like that. Like you'll be surprised how much stuff will accumulate in those footwells. Also, dye, grain, natural markings and grain and dye variations in the leather do not constitute a defect in the leather. So if you've got a chair and you look like, man, like the armrest leather seems a little different, like a little different fade or a little different color or variant of the color, that's just leather being leather, and also depending on the pieces that the leather came from. Like Velcro, zippers, and stitching, if they come apart, that's not covered. And one thing that is, we've talked about this before, and it's kind of incredible, but animals can do a lot of damage to your chair. We had one customer that could not figure out why their chair kept off and on, off and on, off and on. Didn't work. Didn't work. So we finally got a technician to go out there and take a look at it to see what was going on. The technician put the chair on its side to look underneath to see what was going on, and there was a mouse nest, and the mice had chewed away at the wires. So that's not going to be covered by warranty. I hate to tell you, but varmints are not covered. We also had another customer, and you may remember this also from a previous broadcast, that had their chair out on a back. They lived in California, so there's no, and it was under a big awning, so there was no real threat of moisture or rain or anything like snow or anything like that. But there was moisture. They lived on the beach, and they had quite a bit of moisture coming in from the ocean. Well, they bought a chair, and it was all rusted out within a couple of years. Then they got rid of that one and bought a new one, and they were fed up with it. They just thought it was just a cheap chair. And the newer one, more expensive one, also after a couple of years had rust. And that was something. And so we asked them, where is this chair? Where do you have it? It's just in my house. Well, where in your house? Well, it's in my back porch, my back patio. Yeah, I would be real careful with keeping a massage chair. If you're in a very humid environment, I'd be very leery of that, because the humidity, like California or like Houston, where my wife's from, my goodness, the humidity is incredible there, and that can rust out some of the components. Or if it's a really dry environment like Utah, and you don't get a lot of humidity, but you get a lot of wind, and depending on where you live, and with the wind comes dust, because the dryness will of the soil will result in dust and dirt particles flying through the air. And if you have your chair outside in an arid environment like Utah, you can still have problems with dust and dirt accumulation. So just be aware of that. And so I will be talking a little bit about that in detail in a separate video, but I'm basically giving you the topic of the video. But just be careful, take care of your chair. If you want to know what the warranty is of your chair, you should be able to find it on your retailer site or on the actual site of the distributor. So let's say you buy an Infinity chair from us. We have the Infinity warranty on our website, but the most updated one would be on the infinitymassagechair.com website, the distributor's website, their own website. They're a little bit more on top of stuff like that. And the other thing we're going to be talking about is research, massage chair research. I'm sure you've heard of me talk about Dr. Michael Olpin from Weber State University. They have a stress clinic there, and they use massage chairs all day, every day for students and staff. And they have thousands of data points that they've accumulated over the years. And they created they did a research study on that and showed what massage chairs could do. Well, that was back in, I don't even know how long ago. That was over 10 years ago. And I did a recent check to see if there's any other studies, and there are a number of other studies. I chose 4 that there were probably 6 or 7 or 8 of them, but some of them were redundant. Some of them were not. They were more like a case study, and one was actually commissioned by a massage chair company in Korea. And so I didn't look at those ones too deeply, because I felt they were not representative of the unbiased nature of a good research study. So I found 4 other ones that I liked, and that seemed to be agreeable with regards to objectivity and lack of bias. And I will go over those with you in this other video. I won't go through it now because there's a lot of points to cover. But that's another topic that is very interesting to me, as you know, because I was a part of that original study with Dr. Olpin. We provided the chairs for that. And as a matter of fact, we provided the idea to him of doing a massage chair study, because there'd been nothing to that point. So at least we're seeing some more studies, and that's good. That is starting to scientifically validate the benefit of massage chairs. And there's some cool findings in some of those research studies. And I'll go through them on that video. You probably won't see that one up posted for another few weeks or a month, but keep an eye out for it. Well, I think that's just about it for this month. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please feel free to thumbs up, like us on our YouTube channel, and help us spread the word about massage chairs by sharing this video or any of our other videos with your friends and family through your social media platforms. Also, feel free to give us a call. Our toll-free number is 888-259-5380, and you can call us anytime, and someone will get back to you very promptly. And we are moving to a new showroom in Utah. We're the original showroom that I opened. I started the business in 2005 when I started the website, and I was a practicing chiropractor at the time. And then 3 years later, we sold the practice, or I sold the practice, and we opened a store in the same strip mall where my chiropractic practice was. But it was really small, but it was very cheap. It was such a good deal. I think I was paying like $700 a month, which today is outlandish. And it used to be a smoke shop. So it was very narrow and it's not an ideal showroom. And now we've got so many chairs in there, and the chairs have gotten bigger. And my goodness, it's like a I don't know, a sardine can in there with all these chairs and a narrow little path. You can't even see. We got the chairs are so much bigger now that you can't even see the sides of the chairs. So we found a place fairly close. It's not too far away from the old showroom, maybe 15, 20 minutes away, but it'll give better access to people who are visiting from out of state or coming down from the different counties into Salt Lake County to see it. But we will be doing more videos on chair models at that point. Right now, we just don't have the room. And I wanted to do videos on the Quantum, on the Tryon, on the Fuji Ryoki 5D AI chair, and we don't have the room for them. And the other Cosia chairs like the Fusion Pro and the Zen Duo, and oh my goodness. So we're moving to a new space that's going to be bigger and more spacious, and we'll be able to do more videos. So I apologize for us not having more of the review videos. I know I know the people that watch those videos like them. They like it, particularly the one that talks, when I offer my opinion on each chair. And we will get back to that very shortly. So anyways, thank you again so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next month again. I'm Dr. Alan Widener from Massage Chair Relief. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Massage Chair Relief Live podcast. Subscribe to this podcast and be notified of each episode. Check out our main website at massagechairrelief.com for much more valuable information on the massage chair industry and marketplace.